Hello. I just felt to try to make this short video. I really want to reach out to some of my brothers and sisters who are on the streets. I've been on the streets myself, uh, reaching out to the lost. And I just want to encourage you guys. I've seen some of your videos, especially in light of some of the things that have taken place recently. Some of your uh, some of the preaching uh, ventures that you guys have had, preachings that you guys have had, especially the gay pride parades, so on and so forth. And some things have come to my attention, as I've prayed for you guys, and I've been in the Word. Um, and One of the things that the Lord showed me was Second Peter chapter 2 and verse uh, 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 6 through 9 talks about uh, Peter's talking about Sodom and Gomorrah, and he's talking about Lot in particular. I'm going to start in verse 6. In turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making an example unto those that after should live ungodly. Now, this is the King James Version that I'm reading. Verse 7, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. I want to focus on verse 7. Verse 7 and 8. And then he goes into parentheses in verse 8. For that righteous man dwelling among them, seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. In verse 9, the Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished. Now, what struck me, what's really stood out to me, brethren, was the word vexed. And it's something that's always stood out to me because, I've been walking with the Lord in this dark world, and for the most part in a dark church, okay? I mean, the church is not full of light like it should be, unfortunately. I'm called to love the brethren. I'm called to be still be a part of the church. I'm not a lone ranger. But the church at large is dark because it's been stained by the world. So the church in the world, and also I'm not really talking about the church this time, but I want to talk about the world and being vexed by the filthy conversation or lifestyle of the wicked. The word conversation is used in the King James Version. It's not like, hey, let's sit down and have a conversation. It's not that at all. It's a lifestyle. That word translated in the Greek is lifestyle. You see here that Lot was vexed with the filthy lifestyle of the homosexual community in Sodom and Gomorrah. Actually, there were heterosexuals that actually lived there, probably not that many. And according to the scripture, Lot was the only righteous one there. And the scriptures say here, Peter was talking about how he was righteous and he was dwelling among them. And so in seeing and hearing, he vexed his righteous soul. In other words, whenever he saw something, whenever he saw, two guys making out on the streets, he vexed his righteous, it vexed him. Whenever he heard some of them making up, talking about their exploits, okay, with young men and stuff like that, it vexed his righteous soul. He goes, oh, I don't want to hear that anymore. I'm sick and tired of this. Father, when are you going to do something about this? I'm so tired of this homosexuality everywhere around me. I'm so tired of seeing them in their acts and watching them and hearing their stupid, disgusting exploits. I'm tired of it, Father. The Lord knoweth how to deliver, right? Okay, so he was really vexed. Now, you ask, okay, vexed, that's an old word. That's an old King James word. You don't hear people talking about being vexed in 2016 too much. So what does vexed means? What is vexed? What is the word vexed? Vexed. Okay, the word vexed as used here, especially in the parentheses, in verse 8, is the Greek word basnizo, or basanizo, something like that. I got it written down here, but I'm not sure if I wrote it down right. And it means to torture. It means pain. It means toil. It means toss and to vex. In other words, it's not a fun time. It's not a fun time. It doesn't feel good. As a matter of fact, when you're being tortured, imagine being tortured by an enemy, and you've been caught, you've been held prisoner, and now they're torturing you with knives and they're scratching you with knives and you're bleeding. Doesn't that make you mad? Won't that make you angry and you cannot do anything about it because you are chained up to this pole in this dungeon, and now they're torturing the living daylights out of you, and it's painful, it hurts, and you are just, what happens? You begin to get angry. You begin to get upset, don't you? Okay? Unless, see? All right, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. Now, the word vexed is also used in the same way. Back in the old days, before they had chemical testings of fine metals like gold and silver, they used a very simple test to see if that precious metal was the purity, to test the purity of the precious metal. So what they do, they would take a black stone called the Touchstone. They would take this black stone, and they would take the piece of gold, and they would scratch the stone with the gold. Now the gold would be, in essence, they were vexing the gold up against the black stone, and depending on the color that was left by that piece of gold against that black surface, that determined the purity and the character of that piece of gold. Now, if that goldsmith would say, oh, this is 14 carat, that means there's still impurities, he would take that piece of gold and he would throw it back into the flames until it purified some more. That gold would actually go back into the furnace and get purified even more. And then he would take that gold out and scratch it again. And he would go, oh, the right color, 24 karat. Now it's ready. Brethren, God uses, I'm running out of time here. I don't want to make this long. I would love to make this a long video. There's a lot to this. You need to take this and study it yourself. The touchstone is the world. The touchstone is Sodom and Gomorrah. The touchstone, and remember, it's black. It's a black piece of rock and it's smooth. But God uses that touchstone of the world, and he takes you because you are a precious. He purchased you with his own blood, and he is purifying you as precious gold so that you would come forth pure. Now, how does he do that? He tests you upon the filth of the world to see what is going to come forth. Are you pure, or are you teed off? Are you pure, or is that character that's coming forth you? Is there anything left of Joe Morales? When God takes that piece of gold and scratches it up against that nasty black touchstone, then he looks at the touchstone and says, whoa, this guy gets mad every time he sees a faggot. And as a matter of fact, he gets angry. As a matter of fact, something rises up on the inside of him and wants to destroy that life that I made and that I want to save and deliver from that sin. I need to take this guy and throw him right back in the fire until he's ready, because he ain't ready to minister to these people. I'm telling you this right now. You guys right now who are out there in the midst of the world, you are being tested on the touchstone. And what's coming forth, is it Jesus, when he scratches that gold, you, upon that blackness of the filth of the world, when he allows you to be vexed, what does he see? Jesus, 24 karat gold? Or does he see you, 14 karat, 10 karat? A lot of impurities. Throw him back into the fire. He's not ready. Okay? There's a lot more to this concerning Peter, concerning the Garden of Gethsemane. I'm running out of time. Bye.